I can see that you're trying to talk real, but it's coming out fake. I keep telling myself inside when the cover comes so far, but still in the same place. I'm still sitting ready to look at my.
Hello guys, this is Two Stroke Tard, and today's video is going to be a wheelie tutorial for 125cc bikes. This will work as well. I'm going to touch up on 50cc as well because I know they're the real issue for wheeling. So it's going to be a difficult tutorial because I'm doing it completely off the bat. Just going to warm my bike up for a bit. So you've got your 125cc 2 strokes. I'm just going to touch up on this real quick. I don't think anything above 125cc need a wheelie tutorial because you can wheelie fucking anything as soon as it goes over that. So your 50cc bikes, I'm just going to pull over now. So your 50cc bikes, like my CPI for example, or like an Aprilia SX50, or anything along those lines, a Derby Sender, they're your hardest to wheelie, okay? And they're the best to learn on for the simple fact that if you learn on the worst, you're gonna be great when you move up. So it's like learning to fucking do keepy uppies with a tennis ball. You're gonna be sick with a football. So what I want to say first off is this tutorial is off the bat, so please don't mind me being a bit stuttery and thinking of what to say next. So okay, let's have a think. So with your 50cc's, okay, and with any bike to start off with, what you want to start off doing is just rolling slowly round about 3-4 miles per hour, and this is mainly with your 50s. With your 125s it might be a bit higher depending on if it's 4-stroke or 2-stroke. First gear, for your 50cc's, give it all the throttle you've got really, and don't do anything with your body, all the throttle you've got, and pop the clutch and see what happens. Usually the front wheel won't really come up, or it'll only come up a little bit. I'm talking maybe that much. And that's this is first step is you getting to know your bike and know how your bike works. Okay, so roll up and down and just do that and see how far it gets up. Then once you've done that, now I'm assuming, and this is assuming it doesn't come up very high. If it does come up high, then you must have either a small bike or a good weight ratio on yourself. So after it doesn't really come up that much, which you'll find out usually, you want to, and this is with the 50s mainly and the 4-stroke 125s, 52 strokes and 4-stroke 125s. What you want to do is you want to ride slowly. You want to, and again, first gear, really low RPM kind of. Push down on your handlebars, and this is different for all bikes. I've seen some really crazy methods to get the front wheel up, and it's mainly on the 50cc's and the 4-stroke 125s using your body weight ratio. So what I do on the CPI is I'll ride slow, push down on the handlebars with my torso sort of weight in there, build the revs up, drop the clutch. So I'll just do it on my bike for a bit, give you a bit of an idea how to do it. So I'll be rolling about 6. I'll push all the weight forward on my bike, my handlebar suspension will go down. I'll build the revs up, drop the clutch and pull back, moving all my body weight to the back of the bike, and it usually will bring my front wheel up to balance point. And from there on, you learn how to wheelie. But what I want you to do for your first step, and this is really important, is learn how to get the front wheel up using your bike. So learn how your bike works, how your bike is in getting it up using your body with your bike. And this doesn't count for the 125 2 strokes, but maybe it does a bit, but not for first gear. So push down, pull up, you're in balance point, and then what you want to do is hit your back brake. So you want to hit your back brake, and your front wheel will come straight down. You want to keep doing that so that you get the muscle memory for your back brake. So your back foot has got that muscle memory, so that you know when you're going too far back, you can hit that back brake without even thinking about it, without even contemplating it. So I will show you how that's done now. So let's have a look. My bike's cold, so give me a minute. So we're going to be rolling slowly. It'll be slower for a 50cc. Wheelie up, back wheel straight down, and just get used to the jerk action and get used to the feel of your bike and how to get it up, okay? And work on that for days. It will not, this is not a fast and easy process. I've been learning for 2 years now, and I'm still not the best. So, I'll do it again. No power bound. I need the power bound on this one. And hit the back brake. And just keep doing that. Just keep doing it, okay? Now once you've got the hang of that, what you want to do is try and keep the wheel up. So the next step is going to be doing that, and we're not hitting balance point yet, so we're going to learn how to chase it a bit. So do that, get it up, and just keep tapping the throttle, or hold it on, depending on how fast your bike is, and just see how far you can go along for. Now remember that if you go past balance point, and you'll know what balance point is where you are not using the bike's power to get up, and you're not going to fall backwards. It's when you're right in the middle, and if you wanted to, you could pull your clutch in with no power and you'd still roll, and that's balance point, and that's where you want to be really ideally when you become better. So you want to, fuck, this is not an easy thing to do, okay, tutorial wise. So next step is going to be lifting it up and just see if you can chase it for a bit. Remember, if you go past balance point, you feel unsafe, that back brake's right there, and you should have learned that from muscle memory. Okay, so we're going to try and do that now, which is just chasing the wheelie a little bit. There you go. Now you're not going to keep it up for long because your gear will run out, especially if you're doing it in first like that there. Mine ran out. And we're just going to keep doing that. And this is basically a power wheelie, but it gets you the feel of how a wheelie is. There we go. My head's hurting now a lot, so when I hit the ground, it does hurt my head a bit. And this will hurt your wrists as well. At the end of the day, your wrists are going to be knackered if you've been doing it a lot. So just bear with that. They'll need conditioning a bit. Okay, so fucking hell, this is boiling. Right, next step. Once you've got that down, you want to try and reach balance point. So the next step, and it's not changing gear yet. We're not in that realm yet. That's a really difficult step to take. So you want to be going up and trying to find balance point. You'll know what balance point is. It's where you go so far back that you don't need your throttle to keep up, and if you went back a few millimeters more, you'd fall off your back. So balance point is quite easy to find, but it's quite scary. So you want to throw yourself back, not too viciously, and just try and find balance point. It's really difficult to explain how to find it, but throw yourself back quite far until you realise, oh, that's not balance point, that's too far balance point, too far past it, and then throw yourself just a bit high. Oh no, that, you know, I need a bit more, and just find that middle ratio. I'll show you balance point now, and remember that when you're in balance point, if you get scared, just hit that back brake. Don't try and stay in it too long without being near the back brake, because you might flip it. I'll try and find it now. You'll realise that it's quite high up. So that was balance point for me, okay? I was hitting up into balance point, dropping down a bit, hitting back up. And I was just, that is balance point, that far back for me. Depends on which bike it is. That wasn't balance point, that was too far forward. Try it one more time, give you guys a bit of a insight into what it looks like again. Okay, so when you've done that and you've found your balance point, you've found that high bit and you're comfortable at it, and you know that, okay, you want to keep your wheelies going for longer now, and only when you can get it in balance point. And by the way, if you saw that, in balance point you can keep a wheelie going for longer than chasing off the power, okay? That was still in first gear, I never changed gear. So when you found that comfortableness and you want to change gear, what you want to be doing next is, when you're in balance point, and I'll stress this so much, don't hard shift. No matter what anyone else says in tutorials, if you want to follow my tutorial and learn how to wheelie, in my opinion, the best way, don't hard shift, because it will throw you back and it's not good for your bike. So when you get into that 12 o'clock position, sometimes it's safer to do it just before you get into balance point, not 12 o'clock, sorry, balance point. Just before you get into balance point, and when you're just below it, you want to clutch in, shift up, ease your throttle out a bit. Okay, and don't ram your throttle out so you flip it. Learn how your bike likes to shift smoothly, and it will take ages, this bit. Okay, so maybe if you're scared of doing that, then just try a power wheelie with shifting. So you get it up before balance point, power wheelie style, shift, and feel the throwback. Understand how it will throw you back. So I'll do that now. Clutch in, gear up, and then continue with your throttle. There you go. So first gear, I shifted up and I carried on the throttle, and I felt how much it kicked me back. On this bike, not so much, because I've learned how to shift smoothly now. But next, what you want to do is just continue doing that until you feel comfortable with how your bike shifts in a wheelie. Either your bike might throw you quite far back, your bike might not move at all, your bike might need a bit more push. Once you've learned your bike, and this is a big thing to remember, it's all about learning your bike, okay? Especially with the low CCs. Next step is to learn how to shift in balance point. So you're going to get high up and you're going to shift in balance point, and then keep that going. Now the most skilled wheelies and the hardest ones to do, and the ones that are the best, are slow and controlled. So that will be, you might be in second gear, just staying in second gear for fucking ever, and that's slow and controlled because you're not stressing on the throttle. You're pulling that wheelie off your balance, and you don't need your power. Your power doesn't run out. Okay, so let's try and shift it in balance point. Sorry about that. Slipped a gear then, went into neutral. Now remember, I'm not the best at wheelies. I've only been doing it for 2 years. There's a lot of leeway to go, and I did the first year and a half on my CPI, so I didn't really gain much progress. There you go, I lost it then. So I changed gear to second in balance point, using my clutch, remember. Then I lost it because I changed gear too sudden. I was in a too high a gear for speed, and I dropped it. There you go. So that's me changing into second gear in balance point and staying in balance point in second gear without needing to change. Once you've got to that level, you're good to go. That's when you master that, doing that, you know, first gear, second gear, balance point, balance point, balance point, balance point, drop. Once you've mastered that, you're ready to do that second gear balance point for as long as you want, until you want to change it to the third gear balance point and carry it going. Now it's a really long process, but these are my best tips that I can give you here now to get them wheelies bang on and to learn them. And they're the first steps you need to be taking, learning your bike. And it's not hard, it's not easy at all. So don't be pushed away by seeing these guys doing it mental on maybe the same bike as yours on YouTube, because they're either really lucky or they've been learning for just as long as you. And eventually you'll be able to do stuff like this. And you'll be able to wheelie for as long as you want like that. Obviously the road ended. As long as you want. I just span it around too much there. As long as you want in balance point. See, I kept it going from the end to here in balance point, second gear, and I didn't have to change. Once you can do that, you're fucking fine. Then you can learn how to either power wheelie, which is the easiest, and definitely would never recommend learning straight away to power wheelie, because you'll end up cheating yourself throughout your wheeling life, okay? You're best off learning the hard way, and you'll be better at everything else. So once you've got that under control, you can learn how to coast, which is being in balance point, holding your clutch in, no power coming out your bike, and you're just balancing and coasting. That's really hard to do, and a really skilled wheelie that doesn't take speed at all, and that's what's the beauty about it. You come off, you're not going to fuck yourself up. The next step, you can maybe do a 12 o'clock, which I started doing on my CPI 6 months ago or something, which is where you throw it past balance point and you scrape your number plate on the floor for as long as you feel comfortable, and then you slam your brake on it and you're back on the either on the wheelie or on the floor. You can learn how to do stand-up wheelies, where I'll do one now for you. you put your back passenger peg out, so you give it that better balance. Right foot always on your brake unless you have a handbrake. And you can lift it up like that. As long as you got your foot on your back brake, you can learn everything. The world's your oyster when you get to that level, okay? Once you've learnt the basics of the best wheelie you can do. Now, obviously with stand-ups you can't change gears, so it's all about balance, and I'm brand new to them. I just put the peg on yesterday, so it's probably like the 5th one I've done on this bike. But that's when you can start exploring into different wheelies. You can do circles. Oh, it's raining. Circle wheelies. It's endless. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get a few clips up of some decent wheelies and then end the video. But that's the best I can give you guys, and I hope you learned something from this. There you go. 12 o'clock, balance point coast. That's a bit too far back. But there you go, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Please enjoy the wheel clips I'm about to show you. Peace. And here's a quick clip of a power wheelie, which is not balance point, it's just you can see the wheelie. Now it wasn't the best one, but it's a good example of how I kept getting faster and faster and changing gears. So that'll be what you'd learn from once you've learned the balance point. You'd learn that just so you can, and that's really for highway wheelies and stuff like that. But the best wheelies are the slow and controlled, and they're the most fun to do. They take the most skill and they look the best. You can wheelie for as long as you want off the power, but don't take any skill. There's a quick little one there, and you don't really get much control. As you can see, I went into the bushes then, and that was really because of the camber of the road, but it's not the best when you're going really fast and you can't control your bike that well. So, and coming down as well, you don't want that wheel spin, front wheel wobble. So the best are slow and controlled. I've scared the scooter rider off. Whoa, as you can see there, perfect example of me going past balance point, having an unbalanced body and nearly flipping it. But luckily that back brake saved me, as it always does, and that's how important a back brake is. So I don't want to see any wheelies like this with your legs off the ground, because that's how you crash. And that was first gear, and I went quite a while in first gear then, due to balance.
See that you're trying to talk real, but it's coming out fake. I keep telling myself inside, running, come so far, but still in the same place. I'm still sitting ready to look at my